Small businesses are at breaking point. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to talk about Victorian small businesses that are at breaking point, everyone. They've just entered their 5th lockdown, and well, it's not going to be surprising to anyone that they're businesses that are struggling, that are people that just are at the end of their ability to keep their business going. And it's kind of a sad story because people, if you start a business, you put a whole lot of energy, you put hours, you put your whole life into it, you risk all your money, you give up your time, you make sacrifices for the future that you hope you can build something that either, it can grow, support your family, you can hand on to the next generation, or you could sell. People put a lot of sweat, blood, and tears into running a business. And then, of course, you've got the Australian culture that seems to think it's also your job to be very paternalistic for all the people that you employ and put all these weights on your shoulder. Nonetheless, let's have a look at what's happening here in Victoria. Let's start by just looking at some of the insolvency statistics, everyone. Now, I'm going to bring up first, we'll have here, this is companies entering external administration over all of Australia, and we're waiting to see more, new quarterly data appear, but you can see that steady decline, not steady decline, that insane crash of external administrations. Look at that, we're half of where it should be. Now, that the chart here below the decline, that's normal, everyone. Businesses succeed or companies succeed, fail. This type of thing happens in a normal functioning economy. But, we had this thing called a first recession in 28 years, and you're seeing insolvencies or external administrations at insanely low levels. Now let's have a look at personal insolvencies. This is individuals that are having to, go under, declare bankruptcy or implement insolvency protections. And you can see that's also gone down steadily. And that it's probably due to the fact that the government has done a lot of interventions, like, what I'll bring up here, the JobKeeper support mechanisms to keep people from being in trouble, everyone. So we can see why these numbers are so low. But if we zoom in, if we look at Victoria, okay, so they're starting to climb up on an Australia level. Here's Victoria. We can see as well, they're starting to creep up. Now, we're at 94, so we're a few months back to reach those numbers again. Personal insolvencies have been lower, and they're starting to creep up in Victoria. So there you go, everyone. People are starting to feel it. People have reached their breaking point, or they're just cutting their losses. Now let's have a look at a topic which, this is rather a sad thing to look at. Businesses for sale. So I've done a Gumtree search for Melbourne, everyone. So we're looking at Melbourne, and I thought we'd look at the number of businesses that are for sale. Last time we did this, we found a whole lot of free businesses, people trying to give away their fit outs and things like that, and a whole lot of scammy ones as well. So we have one here, and I'll just get that right. City of Dandenong, CBD, $0 negotiable. So we'll have a look. So there you have a little, what type of food is this? A little cafe. What info is there? That's it? Okay, one image. This reeks of desperation, everyone. Someone wants to get out of their cafe. Someone wants to get out of their lease. Someone's willing to give away their fit out. This is the thing. You just want to get out. And let's keep having a look here. Wood-fired pizza restaurant. Armidale in Victoria. What do we have here? Restaurant for sale, $1.23. That can't be right. There you go. Woodfire currently doing 15,000 takeaway, was 22. Dine-in has struggled to get back to what it was, but it's slowly getting there, around 5K per week. 4 years left on lease. New buyer to negotiate new lease. That's it. They want to get out, looking for serious buyers. Then why are you putting it 0? Maybe people are taking over. Here we've got another one. Calling all business-minded individuals to take advantage of securing this golden opportunity. Sure. What do you think? Courier run. Nope. Food truck. Cool room for sale. What else do we have? Business for sale, $85. Kiwi Pacific stores are selling. Restaurant, bar, cafe, $99. Furniture store for sale. Busy restaurant in Williamstown for sale, Victoria. Travel agency business for sale. Travel agency. Do they still exist? $150 negotiable. Dandenong. Travel agency for sale. Heavy foot traffic. Loyal customers. Reason for selling. Moving from Victoria permanently. Price is negotiable. No brokers, please. So, there you go. A little bit of insight into what's happening in Victoria or businesses trying to sell. So with that in mind, let's look at this article. Victorian small businesses at breaking point in 5th Victorian lockdown. Everyone. Their 5th lockdown. There we go. We're looking at all of Victoria here. Victorian small businesses are at breaking point. Victoria's small business owners say they've reached breaking point at this stage in the pandemic, with another lockdown forcing thousands of operators to shut their doors, cut staff, and struggle to pay bills. Victoria on Friday entered a snap 5-day lockdown to counteract the spread of the highly infectious Delta strain. But the state's 5th lockdown since the beginning of the pandemic has made many business owners feel helpless. It's the first time in about 10 years since I felt financially stressed, Melbourne personal trainer and entertainer Joey Philpott said. So he's been doing well. If it's been 10 years since he's been financially stressed, there you go. I have a mixture of emotions, a little bit helpless. I'm here living with my partner, and we've just got ourselves a little dog, and I had this mentality that I couldn't be a big provider. It's brought a little anxiety. Like many other niche providers, Mr. Philpott said he had received no support from government due to his status as a sole provider and the industries he's worked in. With his entertainment gigs all but non-existent through lockdowns and limitations placed on his personal training business, he said he had struggled to pay some bills on time. I switched from buying nice groceries to looking for ways to cut down, he said. Now that's legitimately a way to save money. As literally on a premiere I did this morning, one of the viewers was saying that, between jobs, he's going OMAD to save money. Well, I think OMAD just for health, not to save money. But, eating like a student again. That's what they said. You've got to do it. Food is a big part of your expenses. Buying home brand options, not going for the organic or free range just to save a few dollars. I mean, the organic stuff, it's all a bit of, it's questionable if you're worth it. You're paying for, to feel good. And free range, sure, it's better, but if your money saving from going under comes first, okay? This is when reality sets in. The state's current lockdown comes just 5 weeks after the state finished a 2-week lockdown and only days after restrictions further relaxed. This is the problem. The precedent has now been set. Our political leaders will just keep implementing them again and again and again. The 5 reasons to leave home apply for both metropolitan Melbourne and regional Victoria, which includes major restrictions for hospitality businesses who can only serve takeaway. Some providers in regional Victoria, including the owner of Ballarat's The Sporting Globe, James Sinclair, believe the restrictions for the regions are unwarranted and are causing unnecessary stress. Mr. Sinclair, who is the CEO of TGI Fridays chain and other Sporting Globe restaurants across Australia, said he's had to cut around 80% of staff and has lost thousands of dollars stock in Victoria's latest lockdown. That's the thing I feel for these business people who are just, preparing for things to open up again and buying all this stock, and it all has to get thrown out. I've been understanding of this short lockdown if it gets us the comfort that we can reopen in Metro Melbourne, he said. But a 5-day for regional, I just thought was disappointing because, again, it's painful for business and it's not something that should be taken lightly. Being a larger franchise, he said he was relatively sheltered in comparison to smaller businesses and felt for operators. There's no doubt that every lockdown you'll get additional casualties, he said. The fourth lockdown without JobKeeper, I was getting calls from agents asking me to look at places where they were shutting the doors, and a bar owner calling me to take his staff. I just hope the government can learn from this lockdown and take a more targeted approach in future. It's funny, but it's really sad. I hope the government can learn. What do you reckon? He's right. Hopefully they can. Victoria's lockdown is expected to have harsh outcomes for the state's economy, following a concerning report last month which revealed lockdowns were costing Victorians up to $1 billion a week. Ernst & Young, KPMG, and NAB all believed the lockdown in June cost the economy more than $100 million a day and dent gross domestic product by approximately $1 billion a week. The Victorian government on Friday announced thousands of dollars in support under a new economic package to help struggling businesses through the lockdown. Up to 90,000 businesses that have and will receive payments through the Licensed Hospitality Venue Fund and Business Cost Assistance Program related to the May-June lockdown will receive the Victorian government's new support payments of $3,000 and $2,000. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? That'll barely make a dent for some businesses, guys. Automatic payments will be made to eligible businesses and sole traders across the state, thanks to a deal struck with the Commonwealth overnight. It comes after Prime Minister Scott Morrison agreed to extend financial support to the state after a desperate plea from Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews. Payments of $600 will be available for people who lost 20 hours a week or more, and $375 for people who lost between 18 and 20. The payments will be available from day one of the lockdown. Mr. Andrews acknowledged it was a tough time. It is important that everybody across the board gets the support and care that they need, he said. It's not a cost to the budget, it's an investment in everyone doing the right thing and avoiding hardship, and an investment in making sure we can contain these two outbreaks and get this back under control and be back to as close as normal as we can be. The latest lockdown, has also brought into question the issue of mental health and how countless lockdowns pinch beyond someone's wallet. Franchise Council of Australia's CEO, Mary Aldred, said it had been a distressing time. I think last year there was a great deal of anger, but talking to a lot of restaurant owners and small business owners this year, I think it's developed into futility and hopelessness for a lot of people, she said. A 6-week lockdown can wipe out a business, and a lot of small business owners are losing the financial and emotional reserves to get back up again. That's the thing. This is gonna break some people. Look at there we go. Real estate guy. Oh, travel agent. Reason for selling. Moving from Victoria permanently. Despite more than a year passing since the beginning of the pandemic, Mr. Philpott said he only started to feel mentally affected after the state's fourth lockdown in June. I went into a brief dream state with the latest announcement, he said, but I'm determined not to get down in the dumps like last time. Remind myself to stay optimistic this time, and hopefully it's just a 5-day lockdown. So, what's the solution to this, everyone? None of these things come without consequence, without cost. We've got significant government debt, everyone. I'll bring this chart up here just to remind all of you, this is at state and federal level combined. Not even looking at councils, that's a whole other thing. Are people going to let our politicians know that they don't approve of this? Is it going to... Here's my concern. For all the people and business owners that are suffering and are hurting, people whose lives are being disrupted, there are a whole lot of others out there, probably the majority, who are approving of these restrictions, who are happy for you to destroy your livelihood to be destroyed so they can feel like they're doing something and have the illusion that they're being safe. We'll have to see. Because, honestly, lockdowns win elections, everyone. It's going to be interesting the next few years if these get called upon again and again and again, or if these are just by intention, well, to drive Australians to behave. What do you think? As always, thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can sign up using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can use SelfWealth or Stake with our referral links, buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.